This movie's gonna flop. Our mind's about to pop. But enough of that noise. Time for the B-roll, boys.
Welcome back to another emotionally manipulative episode of B-roll, boys. This week we watched 2008's Twilight, directed by Catherine Hardwicke, based off of, I don't know. I'm Justin, and with me I have Wes.
Oh, fuck me, Edward, fuck me.
Hey, what's up?
And Harlan.
Also, fuck me, Edward, please. Thank you.
And we also have two guests. We have estrogen on the show. That's not usual for us. We have Erin.
Femoids.
You can just say
Hi.
And Ana.
Hi.
That's it?
And they're not seasoned pros.
Yeah,
like we
what do you
are.
want
They're
me
not
to do?
They're not hardened by
I guess it's true.
That is mean.
I guess it's true that if you go back to our very first episode when we watched Spider-Man 3, we were just like, hello, welcome to the show.
Yeah, this
we
is
didn't
my
have- we
first
didn't have our groove
podcast.
yet.
Please
That's true.
be gentle.
Yeah, you gotta work. You gotta
Okay.
it up.
So yeah, we watched Twilight, and we
watched
had our significant others on.
And I'm the fifth wheel.
The most significant other.
Wes was the front wheel.
On a sick-ass tricycle.
Hell yeah.
A tricycle with
Yo.
5 wheels total.
Yo, I got my trike on
He had
deck.
the big wheel.
Alright, so we watched Twilight. Justin, tell us about this movie.
I don't like it.
No?
No.
You didn't have a good time?
No, so all of us have seen this a variable amount of times.
Yeah.
Some more than others.
How many times have you guys seen this?
I've seen it over like at least 10 times.
Oh my
Holy
god.
I used to be enamored with it.
Holy
middle
shit.
School.
Like specifically the first one?
Or just the franchise?
All of them? Okay.
I've only seen up
So,
to.
You were a Twihard fan?
I was.
Were you Team Edward or Jacob? That's the most cliche question. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, you can't avoid it.
I could not choose, so
Oh.
I chose not to choose.
Ambivalent.
And
Nice.
You wanted both.
when Twilight was around,
Chose polygamy.
the merch that was around was the Team Jacob, Team Edward. So I didn't choose, so I just had one Twilight shirt.
Okay.
You didn't like take both
very
shirts and just like
calculated.
cut them down the middle and sew them
You were
together?
You were Joe Lieberman in
Yeah,
this election.
yeah, pretty much.
Wes, what about you? How many times have you seen this?
Like 2 or 3. I watched it with my girlfriend at the time, and then I made fun of it the entire time, and she never wanted to watch it with me again.
That's
Understandably
exactly
so.
how it was with me.
Understandably
that.
so.
I was a massive, cunt bag about it. And I've only seen it once. Anna, how many times have you seen this?
This would probably been my, I want to say like 4th or 5th time. I saw it in theaters, and then, because like all of my friends were obsessed with Twilight, and I just wanted to hang out with them, so I went to go see like all of the movie premieres for all of the movies. And then I've probably rewatched it, like 2 times, and then this time right now.
You're not in double
Also-
digits?
No, I'm not.
I'm
I'm Breaking Dawn,
surprised.
on the other hand, I probably am on double digits. Because I'll just go back and rewatch that, and like I'll put it on in the background while I'm like cleaning, and then I'll just like stop cleaning and sit down and actually watch it.
It grabs your attention.
Yeah.
That's kind of what the prequel trilogy is for me.
Same.
Also-
I always put on RoboCop when I clean. I just have to stay focused.
Also, Team Jacob all the way. Just saying.
I have seen this one. This is my 2nd, maybe 3rd time. I haven't seen this one very many times.
It's my 2nd full watch.
Yeah. And I'm definitely more of a Team Jacob kind of guy,
Hell
especially
yeah.
especially when he's got his long hair. He looks
Hell
good.
yeah.
He looks good in this
Yeah,
movie.
he got that drip.
As soon as he cuts it, I'm just totally indifferent between the two of them. But if we're talking long hair Jacob, yeah, absolutely.
He's pretty dreamy.
He is.
Dream.
Good job.
That was good. That
Please
was
just put the song
My,
right there.
my wife made a funny.
Shut up.
Alright, so, oh god, how do we even
We
start?
have to talk. Well, everybody knows this, right? Twilight and vampires, and
Are they?
Not all of them. Some
Aren't
of
they?
them.
They're vampires of, the AFI variety.
They're not your regular old school vampires.
Okay. So
vampires.
yeah, they're vampires basically with just glamorized benefits and none of the weaknesses that vampires have. Like, you know, they have superpowers to varying degrees. Unfortunately, turning into a bat is not one of them. But
like Castlevania 3.
yeah,
Hell yeah.
They sparkle.
yeah, they sparkle. That's the one everybody knows. And then they have like various like, you know, like X genes that give them superpowers just randomly.
Being a vampire seems like it kind of rules. But yeah, so this is a hell of a lot more toxic than I remember it being.
Yeah.
I know that was like the
Very
discourse
toxic.
around it at the time, but I was like 14 when these started getting.
Yeah, you don't
big,
really pick up on that
I just-
like when it happens. But like I watched this, and it's just like the first like 40 minutes especially are just Edward being a straight up asshole. To
Yeah, I
Bella.
don't remember him being that much of a dick.
He's just like, if you weren't so fucking stupid, you stay away from me, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, he's like, watch where you're
Basically.
fucking walking when she like trips. Like,
I'm surprised he doesn't shoulder check her and be like, "Stay away from me."
You have to stay away.
but then he turns around and he's like, but what if we hung out and you?
What if we kissed at a baseball game?
It's like I can't stay away from you.
Yeah, there's a lot of really stupid lines like that where he's like, I have to control myself around you. I
He's-
can't lose control.
What is
We
he?
can't be friends.
Yeah.
You're like my
he
own
just
person.
walks up to her and says that. Like,
Yeah.
she's minding her own business, and he just walks up to her and he's like, we can't be friends. And it's like, oh, okay.
And he's like, I didn't. He was. It's not that I don't want to. And he was like, He like was like, we shouldn't be friends. But he was like, but. Then he said, he's like, that doesn't mean I don't want to be friends.
He keeps like tailing her.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah, he, like,
you're my
follows
own
her.
personal
He's, like,
brand of
leading her
heroin.
on.
He goes up to her saying, "You need to stay away from me."
He comes, then he finds her all the time.
He comes into her fucking house and like watches her while she's sleeping.
I mean, this
Oh, yeah,
movie
that
is
was
just,
so
This
creepy.
movie is basically the plot of Vanilla of Cool as Ice. You
Yeah.
know Vanilla Ice?
Vanilla
just
as
just
Ice.
without the yeah. It's basically the plot of Cool as Ice, just without all the breakdancing. Like swap out the breakdancing and rapping for vampires, and you've got Cool as Ice.
I think this is hornier though.
I didn't realize it was so horny. Like if I had
didn't
seen this
realize
with my
this.
parents in the theaters, I would have been like hiding.
I don't know, like Vanilla Ice drops ice cubes in Kathy's mouth. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
can't believe I fucking
Edward didn't
remembered
break
him.
out the ice cubes.
Yeah,
Yeah, but Vanilla Ice didn't stop a car from hitting Bella.
true.
Yeah, he just
I'd
knocked
be
a woman
wet
off
too.
a horse.
I'd be wet too. I mean, it's one of my favorite fucking things about this movie is like
All of it.
when they first meet, like he literally comes on sight. He like jizzes.
creams his
He
pants.
fucking jizzes his pants in biology class. Like she walks in.
And he's like,
And like it, like he literally is like in his seat,
Yeah,
And-
then
and-
when it looks at him again, it looks like he's puking in his mouth.
and it's
the
just
two go hand in hand.
it's really funny because that scene in particular, like, it reminds me of in Broly when Broly gets off of Frieza's ship and then he looks up at Goku
my
and
God,
Vegeta,
God.
and
Yeah.
it like
Right.
goes up. There's like a blast of wind at them,
Oh, fuck.
and they're like his power. But of course, in universe, what happens is like there's a fan in the room and it like blows her scent towards him, and he comes from her scent. And I really don't think I think he legit like just like came. Like I'm not like making a joke about it. Like haha, it's as if
like
I
on
think
set, Robert Pattinson himself, Mr. Batman came.
I think he legit is
Method
like in
acting.
the universe supposed to have just like done that
Camest.
and had to like leave class and go change his pants. You know.
Well, maybe.
Not unlike
Maybe.
myself.
I feel like
watching
he.
this.
I feel like he dipes up.
You think that
I
happens
think
a lot?
Edward's a
Is
little
he-
piss
You think
baby.
he's a dipe master?
He's a dipe beast.
Can we talk about how awkward the dialogue is?
Yes, Jesus
And I-
The,
Christ.
the faces, the expressions.
I
Wild.
feel like some people would defend it and be like, oh, it's high schooler, so that's why it's awkward. It's like, no, it's not. Like it's
I-
trying to be super serious
I
and like
didn't act like that.
Yeah. Like I was pretty awkward, but I at least I hope I wasn't
And you
as
know,
awkward as
speaking
they
of
were
which,
in that movie.
I noticed a lot of the kids at this school are just like exceedingly normal. And like, where are all the weird kids at? Because you know what I looked like in high school? I was wearing a Ben 10 jacket every day of my fucking life. Where are the kids who are like walking around wearing Zelda merchandise?
Or
You know,
where
like
are the kids wearing the Roar XD shirts. Like,
Yeah,
I
right?
did.
This is 2008. Like, you have to have that
The
shit.
super teased hair
This
with the
is- this is
raccoon.
The
Like,
raccoon
a
stripes.
fake colored
Yeah.
extension stripe.
All these kids are
This
just
was
like
my
exceedingly
freshman
normal.
year in high school, and I can confirm that none of this is accurate. These are hello, fellow kids, and allow us to feed you some quirk in our script. I like when Edward does like the sweet hacky sack thing with the apple. That was pretty tight, though. That was probably my favorite part of the movie.
Really? Just that?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
His sick like skills. And
Because I was balls deep in hacky sack at that exact same time, so I feel like I had like a mind meld with John Twilight when he was writing.
Do you think you could do that on like the first try?
With an apple?
Like if I dropped an apple on, like down on the ground, you could just like kick it up into your hand.
Not from the floor. He just like flicks his foot and it like rolls off.
Wait,
It was
so-
pretty smooth though.
What's better, that or the scene in Spider-Man when Peter catches all of Mary Jane's shit in the lunch tray?
That's lame. Grow up.
Okay,
What?
come on.
What?
Hey.
It was called a joke. I'm sorry I humored too hard.
Yeah, you did.
It's too funny for us, Justin.
But yeah, the fucking.
Oh,
dialogue
speaking
in
of
this
hard.
Is like, this
Speaking of
is
hard.
this is Oblivion
What?
dialogue.
Speaking of hard,
What?
Anna pointed out something, and I'm very curious. He's a vampire, right? So he's like undead, and
he
it's
get a
like,
born arm?
and his like, and like you know, like his skin is supposed to be cold. So the implication is like he's like low on blood or whatever. Can he get a boner? Because that's how you get a boner is like blood goes to your dick. Like, can he get a boner?
Yeah, that's like the last.
That was
of
the
his
sex
blood.
education hour with Harlan.
I don't know,
I don't know. I didn't fucking write.
Well, I mean, they make a baby in like the what is the fourth or fifth movie? So
Whoa,
Reese's
spoilers.
Yeah, I think it was like before.
Wait,
Yeah.
they
Or
did
Ness.
call it Reese's Cup.
That's not just a nickname. That's like the kid's name.
Like says that on the birth
Renaissance. Yeah, her name is Renaissance.
certificate. Are you fucking kidding me?
Renaissance.
They named their baby
Sorry.
Renaissance.
Like,
Her name is Renesmee.
Re-
See?
Renesmee?
Yeah, Renesmee or whatever.
What the fuck? Stop.
Reese's Cup. I thought you said Reese's Cup multiple times earlier, so I thought that was actually the character's name.
No, that was just me and Goofy.
Being a goofster.
Yeah.
Aw, hail.
Look.
This is a really, like... I forgot that it looked this terrible. The color grading is really goofy, where it's just, like, so fucking blue, and everything is so dark and underexposed. It's comical. It's the middle of the day,
Yeah,
and it's...
Well, it's Seattle.
it's like
True.
it's like how people meme on Breaking Bad's portrayal of Mexico. Like anytime a scene takes place in Mexico in Breaking Bad, it's just like a brown filter, and it's just like that constantly.
Well, because otherwise it just looked like New Mexico.
Yeah.
They'd have to do it.
So otherwise, if Twilight didn't have this color filter, it would just look like
It
New
looked
Mexico.
like actual
Yeah.
Seattle.
She went from California to Washington, so we have to know the transition.
right.
She went for
Arizona.
Arizona.
Oh.
Phoenix. Wes, read the books.
God,
I'm sorry I didn't read all the books.
enlarge your mind.
Did you read the books, Aaron?
I read the first one.
Okay. I didn't read any
Yo,
of them.
speaking of reading the books, I think this like really became big when I was in like 6th grade, and this is just a little anecdote. This girl in my class was reading it, and the teacher commented. The teacher commented something. She was like, "Put the book away," like blah blah blah. She was like, "And I don't think that book is appropriate for kids your age."
She was right.
And she was like,
Based as
she
hell.
said something because like it's implied that they have sex, and she said like because they have sex in the book, and me in 6th grade I was like, they have sex?
Bro, what?
Bro, what?
Bro, they fucking?
And the girl who read it was like, it's implied.
It's tasteful. It's on old Hollywood style.
Wait, so
Yeah.
they effed in the book, but not the movie?
It must have been like the last book
They-
that
they-
she was
They,
reading.
they fucked in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
they
they make a baby.
Yeah, they make a baby.
Oh, no,
in
I
the
meant
later
this
ones.
In this one.
Oh, not
They
no.
don't, they don't F in this one.
Well, she was-
They get married and then they fuck.
And
No,
he breaks
but
the
so-
bed.
So in the
Talking
original Twilight book, they don't F in the first book.
Talking about the first one.
Not in the first one. No.
Okay.
She was probably reading the last one, but it was still like a Twilight book.
Do you guys like remember it like really well? Because I don't remember like most of.
I remember.
I don't know
bits and
shit
pieces.
past this.
I mean, I can guess the basic thing is like, they like he turns her into a vampire eventually, and then they have a baby, and then Jacob fucks the baby, and then like they live happily ever after. Like, you know,
That's what happens.
that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there are
He
like
turns
bad
her-
guys in between there, but like,
Yeah, he
That's it.
turns her into a vampire because she's gonna die because the baby is killing her. And then, yeah, so she becomes a vampire. And then, yeah, Jacob then fucks the baby.
So is Edward's sperm then like one of those tracking bug things in the Matrix that goes into Neo's stomach? That'd be pretty cool.
Probably, yeah.
Wait, so Edward's sperm is alive and well?
I guess. Enough to make a baby.
Edward's
Yeah.
breedable.
He's breedable.
Edward's very supple and
He's hot and breedable.
very potent.
Hell
He's
yeah.
virile.
He's fertile.
So they're vampires, right?
No.
And like we said, they have none of the drawbacks, like, you know, being allergic to like onions or some shit like that, or crosses or whatever.
Allergic to onions.
But
You
like,
mean garlic?
yes, that's what I
Fucking
said.
noob.
Right, so
They just go to the McDonald's and start bugging out.
no onions, please. All right,
Fend off your vampires with jalapenos.
but they're like immortal, right, or whatever. But like, am I supposed to believe that they even like? And obviously, this is like a recurring problem with movies of the time that like they just cast people who are like in their 30s and like put them as high schoolers, but like they just even noticeably look older than all the people around them. And Edward's supposed to be 17 years old, a junior in high school.
With his grizzled jaw and like 5 o'clock shadow.
Right.
This guy just came off the construction site.
And on that note, like, so they're immortal. He says that like he became a vampire in the year 1918.
Spanish flu.
Why go to high school?
Yeah, like out of all the things you could do, you just go to high school
And, like,
do
they're-
it again and again and again.
They're in their house later, like the vampire club, right? And they have like a wall of all their graduation caps, and they try to explain it. And I was kind of disappointed that the movie tried to explain it, but it still kind of doesn't make sense. But they're like, oh yeah, we keep going to high school because we have to relocate from time to time because people get suspicious when we don't age, and so you can stay in a place longer the younger you start out.
Like they say they're fucking homeschooled or
Yeah.
something though.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
you
right?
can,
Like,
like
why
why?
do you
Yeah,
do
you
that?
don't like need to interact with people at all. Like,
What's the implications of that though? So do they like start at high school in like 9th grade? Like Edward's supposed to be 15, and then he just stays the same until he's a senior.
and not to mention, like, yeah, does that really make that much of a difference? Like,
I mean, he
Age
could pass
wise?
all the way up to like 35.
yeah.
Yeah.
How old was Arpad in this? He was like 25, right? Or something like that?
How old is he now?
I don't know, I'm asking you.
I think like he's in his mid-30s now.
I don't know.
That sounds right.
B-roll break. We gotta look this up. And
He-
break.
1986, so he's 36. He would have been 21 when this was filmed.
That's not.
That's
not
not
too
It's
bad.
not as egregious as other
not,
people.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Superbad was worse than that.
Like Tobey
Yeah.
Maguire was like 27 or some shit. Right?
Fucking Karate Kid. Ralph Macchio like 25 in that first one. He's supposed to be like 16.
Well, yeah, but he does actually look like 16.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, but I agree. Of like a lot of these, I guess early 20s to teens isn't that big of a deal. But I look at Taylor Lautner, who is like the same age as me, and that dude looked like he could have been my dad at that time. Because I looked like a little baby-faced dweeb in 2008
Yeah.
at like 15 years old.
He was also a werewolf, so
Oh, true.
yeah, that going.
He's
for
got
him.
that,
Yeah.
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 And I...
His face is very smooth for being a werewolf.
Well, I guess not yet, right?
Recently
Well,
shaved.
that's because he was like 14.
Just
Oh yeah,
get-
he doesn't turn into a werewolf
Until
until
New
like
Moon?
yeah,
Moon,
yeah.
Is he the new moon?
Is he a furry?
Yes.
Yeah.
Furries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they do have a flashback to like his ancestors like having like a rivalry with the Cullens like way back in the day, and they're all wearing like
War.
ears. You know, they have
Oh,
like
yeah.
little wolf ear hats.
That was a good flashback because it just showed the Cullens all in like an old timey like Civil War style photo.
Yeah.
It's like The Shining.
Shall we talk about the inciting incident of when Bella almost fucking dies?
Which
How does
time?
the car spin that way? Like I don't
All right,
understand.
yeah. So yeah, like she's just hanging out in the parking lot at school. Really small parking lot, by the way. I just realized like it's a tiny ass parking lot.
It's a small school.
And I guess it is. Like
It's a-
25 students total.
It's a small town too.
Yeah.
So
It's
The
Um,
population is
well, and-
3,120, Harlan.
Is that right?
I think so.
I thought it was
No, you-
2,420.
Yeah,
I
because
I
you
made
guys
that
were like,
joke.
Because we were like sex number.
all right. So
Wait.
she's hanging out in the parking lot, and this car just peels in and is like skirt, and then like fucking like almost hits her. Like it's like he like was doing it on purpose, and then he just gets out of the car. He's like, I'm so sorry, and it's like,
Sorry, I was
what-
doing 60 in a school parking lot.
Well, it's like what happened? Like,
Well, he lost control, Harlan. It never rains in Washington.
but like what?
Wasn't
like,
it because somebody like was backing out of his spot and he didn't see him? But I still
so
don't
he just
understand
like
how
slammed
that.
the brake?
Yeah, I still don't understand
Or
how
the
that turned
pedal?
into him like fucking swerving the car. And,
Yeah,
like,
it just happens for no fucking reason.
Because also he's in a parking lot, so he would have been going like
Yeah.
10 miles an hour or something.
Exactly.
I'm saying,
yeah.
why are you peeling out of a parking lot that hard? How does the car even get up to that speed?
Yeah.
At such a short distance.
Dude, so he can look cool. He was driving a minivan to school. He's got to do something.
Minivans are cool.
He's got to whip it around.
And so that's when Edward stops the car, and then that's when we have the gaslighting for the next 20 minutes of the movie, where she's just like, I saw you. You stopped that car, and he's like, do you know how crazy you sound? Like,
You sound insane.
I'm standing right there. I was right next to you.
do you know how heavy cars are? In order to do that, I'd have to be like a vampire or something. That's crazy.
No,
Like,
he's like, you don't know what you saw, and then like the next day he's like, but what if you guessed?
Yeah.
he's literally.
Yes.
They're talking about it, and she's like, will you tell me the truth? And he's like, I'd rather hear your theories. He's literally like, just guess. Just go on.
do it.
Just
Just do
guess.
it. Just do it.
Just for
Little
funsies.
scale.
It's just silly.
Maybe he's just having fun asking her questions because she's the only person that he can't read the mind of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he can do
Big
that.
Yeah,
brain
so-
over
so it
here.
intrigues
Is there like a reason for that?
He's got a scan pass.
'Cause she-
Okay,
Well,
doesn't
it's
she
like
have,
a thing for
special
later.
blood or some shit like that?
Well, I think it's just like he's just really attracted to it. But then like later on,
everybody
her superpower is that she's like a shield, so that probably has
So
something
She's like
to do
Jean
with
Grey
it,
later.
I guess.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, so literally the whole reason he can't read her mind is because booty got him like.
It do be that way.
I guess that's
Or he
true.
just looks at her, he's like, ugh.
He's a little bit lost in the sauce. Okay.
Yeah, I guess it is just a him thing because he was still showing up in Alice's visions and shit.
Yeah.
No, fucking no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's written bad.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude.
You dude.
So, how much did you guys like this movie at the time?
Probably like 100%.
Yeah, I fucking loved it. I don't know why I did. I was a cringy little 11, 12-year-old.
So you were like Edward,
Wow.
you couldn't stay away.
Yeah, I couldn't stay away.
You just like whispered to your like VHS case.
And I didn't get into it until like my furry friend, my friend who was a furry, showed it to me.
Oh, okay.
And she, of course, was Team Jacob.
Right. Naturally.
Imagine that.
Go you.
Does that make me a
Furry.
furry?
She wore
Furry.
a tail,
Oh.
not a butt plug.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, just a clip-on tail to school every single day.
Where do you put it like when you sit
Confidence.
To,
In your ass,
to
dude.
she like
You just
puts
sweep it
her
to the
belt
side.
loop, or like the loop on her pants.
You tuck it.
the back one.
You tuck
Yeah.
it like underneath your ball sack, so like.
Yeah.
down? Then you can hide your boner with it.
Genius.
Imagine being embarrassed to get up in front of your class with a boner, but you have a
So high.
fucking tail on.
To loop it back around to him just like teasing his powers a lot. He's really not trying very hard to hide it because there's a lot of times where he's like, he just like drops, like he just mentions casually one of his powers. He was like, yeah, those guys like she's like walking home and some guys start like like giving her a hard time and shit. And he
You
like
wanna come hang out with us?
and he swoops in his Volvo and fucking like sweeps her off her feet. And then he's like, you don't want to know what those guys were thinking. I heard their thoughts. And she's like, what do you mean you heard their
He's
thoughts?
like, no, you're crazy. I didn't say that.
It's like, what are you talking about? You sound insane right
You
now.
know how insane you sound?
And he'll just be like,
Again with the gaslighting.
he'll just be like, man, it was some 300 mile per hour jog to school this morning. And she's like, what? You didn't take the bus? And he's like, no, I took the bus. She's like, what are you talking about? It's just
considering
constant
how-
shit
I was
like
on the
that.
bus the whole time.
I sat next to you, Bella.
I was next to you the whole time.
Do you know how crazy you
Are you
sound?
crazy? Are you crazy?
And that's really just the whole movie. It's just him being an asshole about it, and then until finally he's like, "I need to protect you, Bella," you know, and it's just, and then it just
Because
becomes
the evil phantom troop vampires come in.
Yeah, I mean, she puts it together that he's a vampire because she does all this like research,
She's
and then
Hacker
she's Hacker Man.
She does
And
her
then-
own research.
Yo, it's probably like what Wes said. It's probably the most well done like research scene we've ever seen in a movie. Because normally they use like a fake search site or search engine, and,
Yeah.
or they just don't find anything useful.
Or they literally film somebody's computer screen and it just looks horrible.
Yeah, yeah.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, but this one like she actually uses Google, and it's like a screen capture or whatever.
It's like a motion graphic.
Yeah.
That they make.
Yeah,
Of the
yeah.
webpage.
But it's
It looks
supposed to be like-
it looks alright.
Surprisingly good.
And she actually like gets useful information from it.
Yeah.
So
She's
Good
just
job,
like, I
Twilight.
know what you are, Edward. And he's like,
Say it.
This dude on
Say
YouTube in a
it.
bathroom told me you're
I know what you are, Edward.
and he doesn't even try to
Liberal
deny
Edward.
it. He's
You're
just
the
like,
Incredible
yeah.
Hulk.
Libward.
And then he like puts her on his back, and they like run up to the mountain so he can show him how he sparkles in the sun. And he's like, "This is the skin of a killer, Bella."
He's like, look how ugly I am. He looks like the most beautiful being I've ever seen.
I'm
like-
ugly and I'm proud.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
He's like literally sparkling like a diamond.
It's like a fucking David Bowie or something.
Oh man.
Also, the running with her on his back thing. Was there not a single person in production that might have thought, this looks fucking stupid in live action? It's like a
It looks-
piggyback ride where he's like track running.
Yeah,
It
she-
Well,
even
and-
looked like he was gripping like the tree.
He's just like touching them, but like
doing that.
Yeah.
It's
It's so awkward.
so bad.
yeah, because I think like because he doesn't have like sticky powers. He's not Spider-Man, so I
Not Sticky
think
Steve.
I think the implication is he's just gripping the tree really hard and like thrusting up, but like he's not doing that. His hands just touch it. So, but he just like yeets himself up. It's really weird.
Yeah, then she's just on his back the whole time like Yoda. Flopping around.
And then yeah, anytime any vampire uses their super strength or speed, they just add a really shitty blur over them, like the bad guys are about to eat this guy earlier, and they show up and they just like kick him, and they just kick him at normal speed, and he falls down at normal speed, but they just blur him so that you're like, whoa.
Yeah, it's really shitty motion blur. It looks like Crisis or something.
So they go play baseball, and then they meet the bad guys, right?
Wait, hold on.
What's up?
You didn't explain the reason why they play baseball.
Was there a
In
reason?
the thunderstorm.
Oh yeah, because
It's-
so
they're-
that they
They're
can.
Seattle Mariners fans too.
Okay, it might be a book thing because I don't remember them really talking about it in the movie. They play baseball specifically in thunderstorms because it would be so loud them hitting the balls otherwise that people would think something weird's going on.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
she does say it. She's like,
Okay.
she like briefly mentions it. She's like, oh, now I see why you need the thunder to play baseball. I think that's what she says.
So
Well, like,
dumb.
why
They
does-
don't just hear like random gunshots. It's supposed to be rural middle of nowhere. There's no one like hunting.
And even how did if you hit that hard, how did the bats not just break?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, steel bat.
they were using steel bats.
Yes, stupid.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. All right.
I just had to mention that.
I guess not. Okay, so they play baseball.
P-boy. Yeah,
They ball.
they're
Oh, they
good.
ball.
They b-ball.
Yeah, well, like one of them hits it like a quarter mile away, and Bella's like, "I guess that's a home run." And then one of the like X-Men is like, "Oh no, this is necessarily." And then Edward
That would be
Nardo
Beast.
runs over to it.
They're like, Edward's real fast. He go fast.
He gotta ran fast. He goes
You gotta go
supersonic.
fast.
Well, so I don't know.
Wait,
Yeah,
who would?
like,
do you think he's faster than Sonic?
Oh fuck.
Is
I don't
it?
know.
I don't know.
What do you think?
listeners, write us at poll@brollboys.com. Send us your notes. Mark it okay to print.
Go to pornhub.com/brollboys.
Just leave it.
We're in the ebony section.
I also like how they had Bella playing the catcher. Like, was her hand not
She was
just
the
gonna get-
umpire.
Well, oh yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the most boring fucking part in baseball.
Well, not just that, but
Well,
isn't her
she's
hand
also
gonna-
up against like fucking vampires. What do you want her to do? Like,
It's like, hey, you want to come and watch us play baseball? because we'll shatter your hands if we actually are like throwing to you.
Yeah.
I wonder if they like lowered their like power.
They like
level a
went
little
easy
bit.
on her.
Yeah.
Lower their power level.
Power
Like they're
level.
saying. Are you saying that they
They're-
suppressed their key?
Yeah, their power. They lowered it like so it's not at 9,000.
They masked
Oh, nice job. Nice job.
They tried to mask their key energy so the evil vampires couldn't find them.
They failed.
They did.
They failed
Oh,
because
quick
yeah.
side note. So
Yeah,
we're
what's
thinking
up?
about getting a dog naming it Broly, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna teach him to growl when I say Broly, charge your key.
That's so cool.
And he's gonna be like,
Yeah, this guy's a keeper over here.
oh man. Okay, so yeah, they play baseball, and then they're just like, wait, stop, and the bad guys show up, right?
They look
No.
like Matrix characters, or it looks like a cross between like Matrix characters and like Harry Potter and Order of the Phoenix had just come out, and this looks a hell of a lot like the side characters in that.
Yeah,
the
it
members
does.
of Skillet.
Yeah. But they show up, and it's just like, it's supposed to be like this really tense like stare down, where they're just like, you're on our turf. But then like, I don't know, like the way it's presented, it seems like it's supposed to be tense, but the bad guys are for the most part being really reasonable about it. They're like, oh yeah, sorry, we didn't realize the territory was taken.
At least
Well,
the leader was.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, well, we'll get out of here. But
Let's
yeah.
play some baseball
Yeah, let's play some
first.
baseball. And they're just giving each other like stink eye. And then he catches a whiff of Bella's panties because of a breeze. and so then it's on, and then they all like
Smells like
they all
socks in here.
and so then he realizes that Bella's a human, and he's like, "You brought a snack," and they all run at each other and then stop like 10 feet apart and like lean over and growl. It's
like-
like so stupid.
It looks like a fucking furry
It
convention.
really does. It genuinely does. Like
like her.
They're ready to yiff.
Getting in their yiffing positions.
Speaking of, I'm really surprised that the werewolves in this storied lore don't actually look like furries. They're just wolves. They're
Yeah.
literally just big wolves.
Yeah.
Like you think they'd be
big
humanoid or
dogs.
something.
I think I would not have watched it.
That would have made it creepier.
Yeah.
It might have scared off the horny teenagers
Yeah.
that didn't realize that they were into that shit yet.
Guess you guys weren't ready for that.
your kids are gonna love it. So yeah, then they chase. I don't know. Justin,
Oh, yeah,
what
he-
happened?
They give chase.
Well, the blonde guy, what's his name again?
James.
James. Yeah,
Jimbo.
he's like
He's
he's
the
a tracker, and he's like, this is an exciting game now because
'Cause-
Edward got defensive over Bella.
Like the
and
Terminator.
they have the group of bad guys. There's 3 of them, and like. And yeah, like James is, I guess, like the loose cannon one, and then his
Is he
girlfriend,
morally ambivalent like Shadow the Hedgehog?
and then his girlfriend, I guess, just kind of does whatever he does. And then there's the other one whose name I don't remember.
He was the cool, level-headed one.
Yeah, with the very reasonable fellow with the sick dreads.
He looked like the dude with the tiger in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ezekiel or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
I wasn't watching. That was past when Walking Dead got stupid.
Yeah, when they have pet tigers, yeah, it's pretty much all downhill after that.
It's like, okay, what anime is this? Come on.
What was I saying?
You were
Evil
talking about the.
Oh yeah, and so I don't know. It's like so the level-headed dude whose name I forget, does he come back at some point? Because it's weird how
Well,
he's introduced in this movie just to be like introduced as a bad guy, but then be extremely reasonable and even warn them of the danger.
Yeah, well, when they're running from him, the leader guy goes to their house, like, to warn them that, yeah, this guy's fucking crazy. He's gonna try to kill her.
Yeah, I don't remember if he shows up
And-
in the other movies or not.
And I don't know why he would warn them, because even though he seems reasonable, like the reason he's separate from the Cullens is that he does eat people. Like that's their whole shtick, is like the Cullens are quote unquote vegetarians, but these guys do feed on humans. So it's like, okay, like if you don't want to like start beef with the other group of vampires, okay, sure, but like why are you gonna like actively, like
You know the like really funny and fucked up thing about this? In case this isn't just like
the gaslighting?
yeah. In case this wasn't already like horrible to show to like a group of 13-year-old girls, but all of this takes place within like a month. And they're professing their like eternal
Yeah.
love to each other, and I mean, I guess she's supposed to be a teenager. He's like fucking 100. And that's
117.
somehow- yeah, that's somehow cool. But
Well,
Oh my-
he's not quite 100
Oh, okay.
because he honestly, he probably is.
Sure. He's okay. We can round up. He's close enough. He's close enough to like geriatric Bilbo Baggins age, where it's like, no, he doesn't need to be fucking with high schoolers. But anyway, the point is that all of this happens within a month between when Bella like moves there and when she's telling him later, like, oh, I want to be with you forever. I want you to make me a vampire. All of this is supposed to be within a month.
Yeah.
Maybe two.
Because they're talking about prom at first, and there's a line at the beginning where it's like, oh, I know prom is like a month away, and then the end of the movie is them at prom.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
That is weird.
So, like, the chronology of this is really fucked. And in that time, he's like, hey, moist, supple, edible human being, I'm going to bring you to my family of cannibals.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to hope that they all have self-control and that they're bros about it, and they just happen to be. And even they're like... Because
They think it's a bad idea.
One of the vampire women, I don't remember her name, it's the blonde one.
Rosalie.
She's like, the fuck is Bella to me? Why am I going to war for her? It's like, she's with Edward now. She's part of us. Like, really, dude? That's like second date territory.
Oh yeah, I guess that was their first date. No, that was their second. That
Have they
was
even
their second
kissed
one.
at that point? Like,
Yes, they have, because...
no,
maybe
I
I'm
don't
not
think they kissed
remembering.
They didn't kiss until they were in her bedroom, and he was like, I watch you sleep.
I like watching you sleep.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't sleep.
Right.
And that would suck. Maybe that's why they go to high school. They're just fucking bored. He says
Maybe.
he says they don't sleep, they don't eat, they don't do fucking anything.
I mean, even if I was bored, I wouldn't go to high school. Like, what the fuck?
Well, especially if you can
Well,
run and shit and do things like that super fast. Like, there's a million other things I'd rather do.
Yeah.
Like Naruto run across the world or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I want to go see the Grand Canyon. It'll take me 10 minutes to run over there. Like,
Well, maybe they did all that in 100 years, and so they're like settling down. Like, okay, we're bored. We're gonna just like bounce from residential high school to residential high school, and we're gonna go find like really sweet like Art Deco houses.
yeah,
to
like
rent
so,
for a
like so,
couple
like
years.
the dude, like the head honcho of the Cullens is like a doctor, I guess. How the fuck does he like? He doesn't seem like a very high profile doctor, you know? Like, how does he afford a place like that? Like,
and
obviously
they-
Well,
doctors
I
make
mean,
good money, but like.
He's also been at it for, like, many, many years.
But they relocate all the time,
Yeah,
you
he
know,
would
and they
have
have to
to
like
keep
assume
moving
new,
practices.
well, and assume new identities and shit, you know, in order to keep that, you know.
Maybe he just cashes out his check and, like,
No,
puts it under
he
his
needs
pillow.
he needs like a Better Call Saul money laundering scheme,
Yeah.
you know.
He owns a car wash.
And not only that, but like everybody knows that all the vampires live at that house. So it's like it's implied that he like adopted all of them,
Oh,
quote
yeah.
unquote.
Yeah.
And I do like they're talking about it being weird that they're all like dating each other. Like they're kind of related.
Yeah.
Are they like the McCoyles from Always Sunny?
Yeah.
I would love just like these inbred vampires drinking milk and like openly fucking on the in the front yard.
So they chase,
Oh,
or they
yeah.
get chased.
They get chased, and I mean... Oh, so the whole crux then is that the tracker James, is gonna go to Bella's house, and it's like, oh, he's gonna kill her dad. So she has
Mom.
to...
No, dad. Well,
I thought
dad
I thought
first.
he was going to the dad's house.
Yeah,
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 first.
first.
Because he has to,
Oh, yeah,
she has to
sorry.
go there and tell the dad...
That
She
she's
can't
leaving.
just say, like, hey, I'm going to the cigarette store. She has to be like, I hate it here, and you never spend time with me, and I'm gonna go back with Mom. And he's just like, oh.
Well, not just that. Like she's
gotta
like
ruin
She
her-
said that she said the
No,
exact
she-
same thing that her mom told him when she left him.
yeah,
She
like
just had that on
she
deck,
she
and she's like,
fucking
I'm gonna go right now.
she goes all fucking out. Like he's like, Bella, if you're not happy and we can spend more time together, we can do things. And she's like, what? And do all this boring shit and feel trapped here like Mom did? It's like,
You're
what
like,
the fuck?
You didn't have to go that hard.
You didn't have to rip his
Yeah,
fucking
she
heart
like-
out,
Could have just
It's
grabbed
so
your
hard
shit and
on
left.
right? It's been like, hey, I'm staying at a friend's house. We're having a slumber party. Gonna have a pillow fight. Haha.
What's his name? Charlie?
Yeah.
Justice for Charlie.
Yeah,
I mean, well, let's be honest. Like, we're talking about how she like ripped his fucking heart out and stomped on it, but the actor's face is just like, Bella, no, what are you doing?
He's also just nonstop drinking through the whole thing.
Yeah.
She's like, Dad, it's 10 a.m. Why are you cracking open a beer?
still feel the worst for him out of everybody else though, because he's been through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And this
He does
1
go
month.
through a lot.
All right, yeah, justice for Charlie.
Pour one out for Charlie.
Charlie,
Charlie,
Charlie, Charlie, Charlie, Charlie.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, they leave and they go to. Do they go to Arizona then? After that.
She goes to Arizona for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, they do go to Arizona.
Oh, and then Alice.
And then I guess come
Alice
all the way
has her
back.
vision of
far
the
is that drive?
studio. I don't know, cause she flew. Didn't she fly there the first time, and then they just drove down?
Yeah, they drove back down to Arizona.
Seattle to Phoenix. That's a hike.
Yeah. And yeah, so they go to Arizona with what's her name, the girl, the future seeing Alice, yeah.
And Jasper.
Yeah, Betty Brant. And so they go down there, and she has this fucking premonition, and she starts like sketching like where she sees that the bad guy's gonna be, and she's like, oh, it's the ballet studio, and then 5 seconds later, the guy calls her, and he's like, hey, I'm gonna kill your mom unless you meet me somewhere.
Well, he
And
also
so-
plays a recording. Well, she doesn't know it's a recording, but he plays like a recording of his mom being like, Bella, Bella, where are you, Bella? And that's how he gets her to like come down.
So
There's a
my
lot of
question.
Terminator parallels in this. There's like 3 separate Terminator-isms in this.
My question, my confusion is just why was that premonition of the ballet studio necessary if he was just going to immediately call her and be like, hey, meet me?
It's
She
so
doesn't choose
that
her premonitions, Harlan.
it's also
But
so that
narratively speaking.
but it's so that the vampires, even after she sneaks away without telling them, know where she's going.
But don't they have like a psychic link and they just like know where she is anyway?
Not to her.
But to Edward?
Yeah, to Edward they do. They can like communicate within each other, can't they?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
can
but not
communicate
to
with
Bella.
Mind meld.
Hive mind.
Fix your plot hole.
I don't know. I don't know if I buy it. You know, they can like smell her too. I don't know. Like, I just feel like if you took out that scene
I really
about
don't like the constant emphasis on her smelling. It's like, I can smell her from a mile away.
it is weird. I just feel like if you took out that scene where she has the vision of the ballet studio, it just wouldn't change anything. You know, it just like it wouldn't
Yeah,
matter.
I agree. I thought that was kind of dumb.
Yeah, it's like it just doesn't
It was
really
just
make
to
a
show
difference.
that this character has some kind of weight. I'm sure that she's important, I guess, in the later movies, but she's not important in this one, and who cares? It's like, we're going to reveal plot information that you're going to find out in
Find out
3
anyway.
minutes.
Yeah.
So who cares?
So yeah.
Reveal
then,
that at the beginning, bro.
then
Like,
the-
it would have been cooler if, like, at the beginning, she just, like, had a random vision and drew the ballet studio and didn't realize, like, what it was. And then it gets reincorporated later, so you get some big brain shit.
Hell yeah.
I want to direct this now.
You're gonna remake it with Ripley as Bella.
Yeah. I was going to say, you guys want to star in it?
Sure,
Do you want to be Edward?
sure.
I don't wanna
I'll be Jacob.
Aw.
Wes could be Bella.
all right. We'll both be Jacob, but just alternating scenes.
Okay, I'll be
I could
short
be
hair.
short.
I'll be short hair Jacob, and you can be long hair Jacob.
No.
Oh, the same movie.
just all,
different
like
scene.
every time it cuts, we're a different Jacob. You know?
Okay.
I want to be high schooler number 3.
My man.
Wes wants to just be in whatever he wore in high school.
Do you want to be the guy who drives the car into Bella?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a sick van.
But he gets out, he's wearing like a corn shirt and Jenko pants. He's like, sorry, and drives away.
All he says.
That sucks.
So they
Why
have
are you
the,
inconsiderately standing there?
so they have the throwdown at the ballet studio.
Which is a very short scene where they kind of just like beat him up. Like in
It
like
is,
2
yeah. Like,
seconds.
he's just there, and he's just like, he has like a video camera, and he's like, "This is Superhuman TV show. Today I'm going to drink this girl's blood." And yeah, he just kind of like he breaks her leg, and it's supposed to be like a squeamish thing, but like you don't see anything. He just kind of like punches
He
her
also,
leg.
like, bites her, like, arm.
Yeah, yeah, and so that's like the
He-
plot. Yeah,
he,
the
like, basically-
climax.
She's, like, turning. Or, like,
Vampires are venomous.
Yeah,
And-
and she's, like, turning into a vampire, and, like, Edward has to, like, suck the venom out, and he's like,
Shit.
no, I don't think I can stop if I start.
Yeah.
I can't
And
stop
that's-
sucking.
I'm too horny for the scene, fella.
And that's like the thing they set up way up earlier in the movie, like, oh yeah, like once you start, you can't stop. You get lost in the sauce, right? And it happens. Believe me, I get it.
Also,
But it's just weird because like for what a big deal this guy is made out to be, like once the cavalry shows up, they just immediately wreck
yeah, they
his shit.
fucking body him.
They just immediately wreck his shit and kill him.
Yeah, she like just goes up. Alice just goes up to
Yeah,
him and just snaps his neck.
That was
Oh, yeah,
pretty
and
brutal, though. That was like
and
a Mortal Kombat
And then
movie.
it just burned him.
I
forgot about that. Yeah, she jumps on him like Sonya and just
Yeah.
snaps his neck.
Also, can we talk about? We haven't really touched upon the cast at all. Of like everybody's bad, everybody's terrible, which
Yeah.
means that it's a badly directed movie. Like it's a pretty good indicator because a lot of people give like Robert Pattinson shit for it. I can see Kristen Stewart because she's bad in a lot of stuff, but like Robert Pattinson, he's all right.
He's
I don't
okay.
like love him, but he's fine. And whatever I've seen him in outside of this, he's been perfectly functional.
The past few movies, he's been incredible.
Yeah.
The Lighthouse, amazing.
I still need to see The Lighthouse, but I heard, I keep hearing that he's good in that.
Oh,
Yeah.
But like, yeah, everybody's just like zanned out and really boring and monotone in this. It's like I'm watching the fucking prequels again. But Kristen Stewart's facial expressions that they had her do while she's like convulsing on the ground with the venom in her, it's really funny.
She gets like cross-eyed. Yeah, she's like,
She does like an Iago face.
While she's getting the Edwards suck on her arm.
And he's just like,
man.
and then he keeps going like a little too far, and they're like, "No, Edward, you're killing her." And he's just like,
And then she wakes up in a hospital and Edward's already gaslit her mom.
That's so
he's like,
fucking weird.
It's like she fell down the stairs through a window, and she's like, "Whoa!"
So the story is that she went to a motel. And so they're like, yeah, she was at the motel, she fell down 2 flights of stairs and out a window. I'm like, alright, so A, what the fuck was the layout of this place that you could fall down the stairs and go out the window? B,
Talk to the motel.
exactly, like, was there
There's
not like
paramedics that would show up
or
for
like
shit?
insurance? Like there would be documentation for that serious injury. Like somebody would get sued or something. Like what the fuck? Like that story does not cover things at all. Also, they show like, you know, a fake flashback, I guess to call it, of Bella like falling down the stairs as you know
really
she's
funny.
saying. Yeah, but then they also say like, yes, and you fell down the stairs and out the window, and then instead of showing her that going out a window, they just reuse a shot of Edward getting yeeted at a window by the bad guy from earlier.
Well, I think she was drawing the parallels between what really happened in Edward's story because she was all confused.
I don't think so because they showed her falling down the stairs and that was her, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Everything
Either way.
sucks.
Yeah.
The universe is gonna die anyway, so it's fine.
Well, and
Everything
then,
dies.
Yeah.
And then they
Not
go,
Edward though.
Then they go to prom,
Yeah.
and it's really corny.
Yeah, she wants him to turn her, but he won't. Thus the eternal struggle.
Yeah.
I like how they don't show us like Bella reconciling with Charlie. She's just like back in the house and
Yeah.
then they're going to prom.
Because she's like, "Mom, calm down, because I have to like apologize for like intensely personally insulting him, and,
Like,
his life and
emotionally.
everything. Also, I could just have an excuse to leave for like a little bit.
She could have just dipped and not said anything.
Yeah.
Hey, Dad, I'm gonna go smoke cigarettes with my friends. And it's like, okay.
It's just weird to me that like they thought like, yeah, you're gonna need to leave town for like a long time. Like make up an excuse for your dad. You're gonna have to leave for a long time. When they just completely wrecked the bad guy's shit. If it's like if it was that easy for you guys to overpower and kill him, like what were you
Yeah,
worried
why don't
about?
they just like station guards outside the house or something? Is it supposed to be so like if the bad guy comes to Charlie's house, then he'll just be like, "Oh yeah, she dipped," instead of being like, "Oh, I don't know where she is," and then he just gets killed. But I feel like if they're bad guys, they're just gonna kill him anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's dumb. And yeah, he gets his shit wrecked so easily. It's just like have like 1 or 2 sentries outside to like pink belly him, and then it's done.
And they even make a point to say like his tracking senses like are, they say that his senses aren't lethal, whatever the fuck that means. And so like
Got that smidge.
so the implication is just that like no matter where you go, he will find you. So like yeah, like why not just fucking hunker down and again just fucking kill the guy like you did so easily? Like
They
what?
should have set up Charlie's house with a bunch of Home Alone traps.
A bunch of like
Like,
a bunch of garlic and crosses and it just like doesn't bother him at all.
I mean, this is like also in this where Edward is explaining this to Bella. This is where like the Terminatorism started coming in for me, because it's like it's kind of like he can't be bargained with, he can't be reasoned with. The only thing we can do is kill him.
He's a machine.
He'll never stop looking for you. And I was like, hey, I recognize that trope, but it was a lot better in Terminator.
he also could have just turned her into a vampire. Then we wouldn't have to worry
she's
about it.
fucking begging for it. But she's supposed to be. I guess that's part of like the controversy around this series, right? Is that your main female character basically doesn't have any autonomy because she has to wait for permission from one of two guys to do anything.
Yeah.
And so that's cool.
It's
That was
so
before. Like, imagine if this shit came out now. Like, this would not fly now. I feel like it's been grandfathered into like
Yeah.
people our age's psyche, so we just see this and it's like hokey and stupid. But if this came out in theaters right now, this would be like, I guess, cancelable.
it's really strange to me to like. I just can't comprehend like viewing this relationship as like something to aspire towards. You know, like.
Wait till we watch 50 Shades of Grey. It's even worse.
Oh my god!
Suicide Squad.
I can't wait. I don't like just
Mr. J.
Blues.
Woos.
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 Bella.
Bella.
Belle.
Edward Cohen.
All right. So is that it for the movie?
Yeah.
Yep. I think so.
I think that's it.
All right. So good thing.
I thought the prom shots at the end looked pretty good. Out of focus lights, like the rotating around.
And they
Most of the
kind
time
of
when they did that camera movement, I hated it, but for that, I thought it was pretty good.
and for that part, because of the lighting, they kind of toned it back with the blue.
Yeah,
You know, it was like normal for a second.
it looks pretty neat.
Sounds weird. I'm going to say the search engine scene. Just because they actually use Google.
I'll give it to
it
you.
wasn't internet.com or something like that. Like, is it ever?
Website.com.
I'll give it to you,
Yeah.
Once you're good.
ladies.
I thought the baseball scene was like fun, kind of.
The baseball scene was fun.
Yeah, it was like kind of fun, and it was like not really like it was kind of like out of character. Like
It was a filler anime
Yeah,
episode.
it was like a filler anime episode, and I thought
It was a breather.
It was fun. It was like because the rest of the movie is just so awkward. The dialogue is awkward.
Yeah.
So the baseball scene was just out of character and was something else, and I thought that was better than the rest of the movie.
Just a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Right, that's kind of the only scene where the characters enjoy themselves, because otherwise it's just like them negging each other and looking
Just
like
being
really-
angsty.
just being dour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing, and also I just really like the song "Supermassive Black Hole." So
True. It has a Muse montage.
So that's not an original song.
You've never heard Muse?
Not that song.
It's one of their big ones.
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
time.
I don't think so.
still on my playlist.
Okay, so then
No.
you can't give the movie that. What else?
Aw.
Well, you can give. She can
The
give
placement of
movie-
the song.
yeah.
No, I
They
want
chose
to
use
grow
that
my.
song.
They
Fall
chose a
from
good
the
song
sky.
for that.
Okay,
so
okay.
yeah, that's my thing.
So there's a scene where they're hanging out somewhere with like a grand piano for some reason, and Edward is playing it, and Robert Pattinson actually played that on the piano, and it was nice. It's a nice song.
Oh,
That's
that's
cool.
cool.
Yeah, that's my good thing.
Good for him. He acquired a life skill to play in Twilight.
He's a pianist. He's a pianist.
Which he like totally hates and disowns this now, right?
Good.
I would hope so,
I hope
doesn't
so.
he?
I
thought-
feel
no
like I've
idea.
read that. Yeah, like he's
I
not
thought that
proud
he-
of it.
Yeah, I thought that he like talked a bunch of shit about it. It's like, who
Well,
cares, man? That's your retirement check. Actors sell it all the
Yeah.
time. And he was like,
Dude,
20.
like we
Probably
talked.
makes light of it or
Well,
something.
we talked about this
like-
when we watched We Can Be Heroes. Like Taylor Lautner wasn't in that. And it's like, what is he doing? And like, I think we looked it up back then, and the last thing he had been in was something from like 2016. And yeah, he's just riding that Twilight check, which I get it. You know, I probably would too.
Yeah.
yeah, fuck it.
But I also wouldn't pass up a chance to play Batman either. So
Dude,
What would
Batman.
you give this out of 10? I give it a 4.
3.
2.
I'm surprised you're giving it a 4.
Damn.
Yeah, me too.
I'd probably give it a 3. Just because it was genuinely funny in some parts.
I mean, like,
It
stupid,
entertained
but
me.
It's not like the worst thing I've ever seen. I guess it. Yeah, maybe it's just because we had fun watching it, but like it wasn't.
Well, you gotta think of the-
technically incompetent movie. It
But
was
you-
just like stupid and bad direction that I don't agree with.
But you got to consider the effect that this has on young little girls' minds. You know?
Yeah, like
Are you
me.
doing this like when the children cry shit?
Yeah, I am.
Oh no, Justin turned out alright.
Think of Aaron. Okay.
Yeah, I was like 11, 12 when I watched the.
Yeah, your mind was formed by this. And
Yeah.
here you are.
Yeah.
It turned out all right, so it's
It
fine.
It turned out fine.
All
I
right.
just remember giving my friends that were reading it shit at the time, so I was like, is that the Apple book? Because I would have been super funny in, like, 9th grade.
So funny.
All right. Let's see, trivia?
Oh shit, we got trivia.
A little bit.
Did you know this is based on the book Twilight?
What?
Oh yeah, Stephanie Meyer has a really lame cameo.
Oh yeah.
Because she's just in a diner for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
and
So
main
somebody's
focus.
somebody's like, "Here's your veggies, Stephanie."
Yeah, they
and that's
call
it.
her Stephanie, so
She
it's like...
doesn't have a line.
Yeah, she
So
does
it's like,
it.
was she playing herself? Like, is she playing Stephanie Meyer?
Yeah, she's
I mean-
playing herself.
I mean, I made a joke about that being a Hitchcockism because Hitchcock used to be in all of his movies, but
Yeah.
his were really obscure. Of he'd be half a mile in the background, walking across the street.
Yeah.
Legend.
Alright, so... a few weeks before filming began, Robert Pattinson didn't talk to anyone to try and feel as isolated as Edward Cullen.
He's
Man, he tried.
He's a method actor.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was his first major role, so
I think so.
Can't blame
He was
him.
in Harry Potter
Well,
2
he
years
was like
prior
a
to this.
he's like a side character for
Yeah.
10 minutes.
And then he
But
died.
he still gets Harry Potter money.
Yeah.
I guess.
I thought this one was just kind of weird. The book was originally named Forks
Are you serious?
because the town that it takes place in is called Forks. But I didn't realize that when
So
I read this. Yeah, they were gonna call it Forks.
Bravo, Stephanie.
That's some shit Stephen King would do.
Yeah, and the publisher
Yeah.
insisted that she change the name.
That's good.
So.
I don't think it would have done as well if it was just named Forks.
Stephanie Meyer fought for the one line in particular, one of the most well-known from the book, about to be kept verbatim in the film, which was the line when they're talking in the forest and he finally admits that he's a vampire, and he's like, what does he say about the lion and the lamb?
And so
That's the one?
the lion falls in love with the lamb.
Yeah, so she fought for that line verbatim to stay in the film.
Bravo, Stephanie.
And it's worth noting that we all fucking lost our shit when he said that.
Yeah.
We were all
I'm glad
laughing.
she fought for that. That's my good thing.
that
That
line.
line's great.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's it.
That's Twilight.
Yep.
That was Twilight.
What are we watching next time?
New Moon, right?
Maybe not.
And thank you, Erin and Ana, for being here with us.
Yeet.
All right,
B-roll
I think
guests.
gotta take that one off the list.
B-roll buddies.
B-roll broads.
B-roll.
Just say that again, I swear to God.
B-roll. Hey, yo, Tom, got some B-roll broads.
Hey, Tom.
Like, Tom.
All right, Anna, would you like to spin the wheel?
Yes.
Just
Harlan's wheel.
Turn up the phone. All right, just shake the phone.
Meat spin.
Hold it up to the mic so you can hear the doodle loop. All right, you want to call it? You want to call it? No! Anna, tell our listeners what we're watching next time.
We are going to be watching the Emoji Movie.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh.
This was almost my first pick
What
for the
is
show.
your obsession with these, D-list kids movies that were farted in and out of theaters for, 2 minutes? It's like Sherlock Gnomes, and this is fucking Boss Baby 2 next?
No.
Boss Baby 1 is next.
And you're gonna force me to watch this again because I've
You've
seen
seen
it.
this?
George made me watch it.
Oh, man.
George has the Blu-ray.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my God.
No spoilers.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us for our special 2-year anniversary episode. Yay! Whoa!
Hey,
Would you two like to acapella the outro song? Go ahead. 3, 2, 1.
Wait,
Go ahead.
This movie's gonna
No,
flop.
that's the intro. Do the outro.
What's the...
wait.
What's the outro?
Oh, you can't expect them to know the outro. No one's listening to
Okay,
it.
You've
okay.
never made it to through a whole episode. What are you talking about?
Okay,
Okay,
let's just
okay.
do the intro.
All right.
Oh, wait. The movie's gonna flop. Our mind's about to drop.
All right, cut. Rewind. All right, do it again.
Wait, is it... Okay. This is...
Okay.
This is it.
This movie's gonna flop. Our mind's about to pop. But enough of that noise. Time for the B-roll, boys.
Yay.
Bye.
Bye.
You're trash, bro.
I need a second, okay? Why can't anybody give me a goddamn second?
Hold on. You dig on multiverses?